So in this video, we're going to discuss checking for internet connectivity before making an Ajax callback. So when you make an Ajax callback, you're sending a request to the alpha server, and then the alpha server is going to respond with some type of response. And so if there's no internet connection, or if the alpha server is not available, then there will be no response from the Ajax callback. And what you'd like to do is let the user know before making the Ajax callback that an Ajax callback is not possible at this point in time, rather than waiting for the Ajax callback to time out, which could take a couple of seconds. So you can see here that we have a simple UX component that makes Ajax callbacks. So we're going to go and test the Ajax callback. So we'll go ahead and press the Ajax callback button, and you can see there's our Ajax callback that's taking place. We also have two other buttons here that check to see if the server is available. So we'll go ahead and press this button, and this tells us that the server is currently available. And here's another button that performs a speed test. So you can see that the speed test took 73 milliseconds. So the ability to check if the server is available has been a feature. There's been a method for that for some time now, and performing a speed test has also been available for some time. So the speed test is performed by sending a certain amount of data back to the server and measuring how long it takes for the server to respond. So now basically these two tests can be incorporated into the Ajax callback, so that you can automatically have in your Ajax callback a handler for if the server is not available. And it's going to be much quicker to check if the server is not available than waiting for an Ajax timeout. So let's go now back to the alpha, and what we're going to do now is turn off the alpha server. So we'll go over here. So we're going to turn off the alpha server now. So now the alpha server has been turned off, and we're going to go back to the browser now, and we're going to basically try to make an Ajax callback. And you can see now we get a message saying that the server is not available, and that happened very quickly. We didn't have to wait for an Ajax timeout. So let's now go and turn the server back on again. So now the server has been turned back on again, and if we now go ahead and try to execute an Ajax callback, let's just give it a bit of time to come back on again. You can see now the server is now available. And if we go and go to the console and inspect here, we'll see that basically whenever we make this Ajax callback, we're getting in the console a message about how long the speed test took. So in this case, the speed test took 72 milliseconds. So let's go back now to the builder and take a look at how this component was defined. So we'll go back into design mode here, and here's our Ajax callback. And if we look at the Ajax callback, we can see here that we've said we'd like to check if the server is available, and we'd like to basically give the server 500 milliseconds to respond. And then if the server does not respond within that period of time, we'd like to basically display an alert. And then we'd also like to perform a speed test. And you can see how we specified that we want a 1 megabyte chunk of data to be sent back to the server as part of the speed test. And that if the server does not respond within 200 milliseconds, we'd like to consider the speed test to have failed. And in that case, we'd like to display our internet connection is too slow message to the user and not do the Ajax callback. So if the speed test fails, the Ajax callback is not performed. So let's go and set this number to a very small number. So say 50 milliseconds, and we know that the server will not respond within 50 milliseconds. And then if that's the case, then we're going to display this message over here. So let's go ahead now and test this out. So I'm going to go there, hit save, and then basically go here and do a live preview. So we'll go back now to the browser. We'll refresh the page here. and now we'll do an Ajax callback. And you can see now we were told that the internet connection is too slow because the server didn't respond within the specified amount of time, and so the Ajax callback is not done. But the important thing is that the user is informed of a problem quickly rather than waiting for the Ajax timeout, which can take quite a bit of time. Thanks very much for watching.